Let's see. Should we try this one? It's just so much more fun. Yay! Let's see if this works.
We did it!
Hi!
Woo!
Yay! This is so exciting.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You too. Oh my goodness. Thank you for doing this with us tonight.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Wait, so what time is it where you are? And you're in New York? Where are
I'm
you?
in New York.
Very
It's
cool.
5.
Nice.
So I'm like done for the day. You know how it is with 2 little kids.
Yes, I feel you, girl. I know. I'm like, I have so much coffee, and then I realized that I just looked down and there was a fly in my coffee, and I'm so sad about it because we used the rest of our coffee because it's only 2 o'clock here. So I just put a napkin inside my coffee cup, as you can see right now, to remind myself to not
Not to
drink it
drink it.
because I want it so bad. I'm like, no, Caitlin, don't eat the fly coffee. But then 5 o'clock comes around, then I'll transition to my like rosé, like a glass of wine.
Oh, that sounds so nice. I'm hoping that my husband will make me a Manhattan tonight. He
Ooh,
makes good Manhattans.
I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah, so I am so excited. I have not been able to put your book down.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
I usually have like 10 books open at a time,
yeah.
and I usually love all of them, but I have a hard time just staying focused. But
Mm-hmm.
with yours, I'm like, I need to find out what happens next. I
Really?
need to, yes.
Oh, I just saw
It's
my friend Julian join. Hi, Julian.
hello, everyone. Tell us where you're coming from and if you have any questions for Caitlin. So we should just dive in because I know that you're busy. You're a mama of 2, and I don't want to keep you on here too long, but
Oh,
I would just love to hear a little bit about, if you want to like share with our listeners a little bit about your story, writing the book, and then I
yes.
have a bunch of questions to ask.
Yes. Here is the book outline behind me that I worked off of. But I am so excited for people to read the book. I know you have it, and it makes me so happy that you're loving it. But yeah, it comes out on Tuesday. And someone that read it, that was writing, I did a podcast with too. She was like, it just made me feel better. She's like, it's the first. I think it's the first time that I felt grace for myself, and that made me feel so nice to know that any type of pain and all the challenges that I've been through in my life have, that I share, and then I share about a lot of therapy sessions that I had that came
Yes.
from the healing that came from those sessions and in life, in hopes that it will be able to help other people in their healing journeys as well. So yeah, I
I
loved writing it. I want to write 100 books forever. That is my new goal, is to become a full-time author. I
Oh,
love
I
it.
love it. I feel like your book is so needed right now because,
Really?
like, yes, it was the perfect time for it to publish because so many people, I do confidence and mindset coaching for female business owners. I'm also a therapist, and so many people are struggling right now, and we just need that little glimmer of hope. And hearing like all of your stories, everything you've gone through, and then to see where you're at right now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, my life is not over. Because at times you
Yeah.
just question like, is it going to get better?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. That is the goal, and I think right now that we're in quarantine, there's so many incredible things that we're learning and that I'm learning. And I'm so grateful for this time. I know there's so many people that are going through, horrendous things right now, especially that have COVID-19. But I personally never want this quarantine to end. It made me realize I never want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything social. I don't want to go to any office ever again. No birthday parties. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm a homebody. I just want to stay here and live in like a treehouse, and I'm happy. I just realized that
I
about
love
myself.
that.
Yeah, and just write and stay here and work, do some deep breaths and some yoga, and just, I love quarantine.
I love
Do
it.
you like it? Or are you like people that are like, oh, I just miss doing things? I'm like, really? I don't miss anything. Do you miss normal
So
life?
I don't miss going outside. I feel like I used to be an extrovert. And then when I started a business and was home all the
Mm-hmm.
time, I just love being home. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't miss going out at all, but it's definitely hard with, I have a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and I know you have little ones too.
Yeah. Same. I have a 3.5-year-old and a 10-month-old. And yeah, yeah. But again, I'm so grateful because before this, I had such mom guilt about, I was working so much and had a nanny, and then I had my 3-year-old was in preschool, from early in the morning till 4 o'clock, and it just felt like, "Ugh, I don't like that these other people are getting to enjoy them." And now I love that I get to enjoy them and I get to raise them and teach them things. And they are watching a lot more movies than it's probably healthy for them because I have to get work done. Um, so I don't want to fry his brain too much, but I'm so grateful.
So tell us a little bit, maybe just tell us what sort of inspired you to write the book? Because that's the question that I always get is like, when was the right time? When did you
Yeah.
know it was the right time?
So whenever I would speak at events or conferences or whatever, people would always come up to me and say, "You need to write a book." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, maybe one day, not anytime soon." But the publisher, there was a woman that works there, a publisher there, Stephanie Smith, and she would write me like once a year and like, "You should write a book. You should write a book." And I was like, no, I don't even really like reading books. I don't have time to read books. Definitely don't have time to write a book. And then I did this one podcast years ago, a couple of years ago, with this guy, Mike Foster, called Fun Therapy. And I talk about this kind of these like my biggest, deepest, darkest secret, where I felt kind of the book kind of ends with, I went to this one final thing in their lives about that subject.
I lost you for a second.
Oh, I lost you. There you
Yeah, can you
are.
see me now? There, okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So I can't wait to hear about the second book, and I can't wait for the second one to come out. Do you have a date yet for it?
Yes, the second book will come out March 2021.
2020.
So
Oh,
in a year. Yeah.
wow, that's soon.
Yeah. So I'm working on that now, but I don't even, like, I don't know how to fit in everything right now. Like, it's literally impossible. So I actually just asked for an extension because it was due May 9th, and now I have till May 22nd. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm very
Oh,
happy that we are working towards the mandate just changed in Los Angeles here, non-essential businesses. And so we're working towards trying to at least sell some of the inventory that we already have made at the Giving Keys to be able to start selling them again next week. So I'm working on that with the kids. So it's definitely hard to find time. So my husband and I are trading off. My husband does real estate and he's been showing a house. So yeah, trying to fit it all in. But I know everyone's in the same boat. So it feels like we'll never get this time back again. So again, I'm grateful.
my goodness. So you are launching a book, writing a book. Your second is not even one yet. That's
Nursing,
oh my
still
God,
nursing
you're
and pumping.
oh my God. Oh my God. I feel like everything got easier once the nursing was over.
Yeah. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to start weaning down a little. It's too much.
Yeah. So tell us, I took so many notes.
Aw.
I love how you talked about not needing an MBA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so many of the women that I work with, I don't know if you can hear my little one screaming in the background,
Mm-hmm.
but they feel like I need another degree, I need another certification. Like no one's going to take me seriously until I have these letters.
Yeah.
And I just love how you talked about that. So if you want to just share a little bit.
Yeah. I was a philosophy major in college and I didn't finish. And I think whatever it is that you want to start and do in your life, that you really can do it with whatever numbers or letters are in front of your name or not. I really prefer doing everything guerrilla style, but which is, doing everything yourself, no rules, no HR, none of that, and just everything creative, everything with your cuticle clippers and tweezers and in your journal. And then once it starts getting into spreadsheets and things, I malfunction. Even when I used to do music and I would, go to writing sessions, I would write everything in my, you know, like on a piece of paper, and other writers would write on their laptops. And I'm like, how can you even think creatively when you have to write on a laptop? But people do it. It's just not how I'm wired. But just really, so the book is a lot about like allowing yourself to be messy, allowing yourself to be uniquely you, and you can start something, create something based off what organically, authentically is inside of you. And yes, if I went to school, I do have a lot of my best friends have their MBAs, and I find it really interesting that most all of my best friends have their masters. And I actually host a podcast with one of my friends who she got her master's at Oxford, so we have a good balance as far as I'm the guerrilla style one, and then she can offer a lot of the Oxford wisdom. But yeah, of course, in hindsight, I think a lot of the obstacles that we have been faced with at the Giving Keys, in hindsight, yes, I wish that I had that a master's to be able, like, I'm sure I would have known how to handle certain things a lot better if I did have my master's. But I doubt I would have started the Giving if I did have my master's, because my mind wouldn't have thought outside of the box like that. I would have been trying to, fit into this like master's equation of a business plan box, but the Giving Keys doesn't fit into that. So it's kind of interesting to think about it that way.
I love the story, and just how, it was the thing that was always sort of on the side, and you pursued all these other things, and then it really just came back to that, and this was the thing.
Yeah, and I think that's what life is all about, following the open doors and listening to the shut doors. Right now in this day and age, there are a lot of shut doors that are happening for everybody in everybody's lives, obviously, but there's going to be so many open doors coming from this. Who knows when, or even opportunities. Like right now, you guys are going to be the first ones to see this. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it crossed my mind. We made this sample of a mask. It says we are in this together. This is the only one that exists. So we're gonna try to see if we can start selling them with our different words. And next week, like, we never would have made masks before. Yeah. The thought is it would be a 1-for-1, get one, buy one, and then we'll donate one to someone who's experiencing homelessness. So just trying to come up with new ways to give back to meet the needs that people have right now.
I love that idea. What's it been like for the business with everything going on?
So when Los Angeles did the shutdown mandate a month and a half or so ago, that was devastating. We had to shut down our website and temporarily lay off everybody. And it was, horrible. And I know so many people and companies are going through this, and I'm so glad I have a lot of other friends that have companies. So we were kind of walking each other through all of that. And then right now they just made some leniencies in the state of California, the safer at home mandate. So we've been talking to our HR attorney 100 times a day, trying to figure out what can we do? Like, how can we kind of work around this to keep everyone safe, but, see what we can sell, even if it's just, I know we can't do any manufacturing right now, but we have a lot of pieces that are already assembled. Can we sell those if someone goes in, like, one at a time? So we're working through that right now.
Awesome. Can you share with us a little bit about, you sort of had the theme in there about trust and intuition and the piece of meter.
Yes, I know. This is my little background here. So that was, chapter 3, Peace-O-Meter. It says, stop looking outside to know what to do next and start trusting yourself. Ooh, that's a good story. Ex-boyfriend story in there about him offering
the $20,000. Yep.
But I said no, and thank God I wasn't married at the time. So thank God I'm not business partners with my ex-boyfriend. Now that I'm married to someone else and have 2 children, that would be, whew.
Because I think as women, it's so often like we look outside for other people's approval. And we always know, I always say, like, our answers are always within. We just have to get quiet and trust ourselves a little bit more.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. What are some things that in your line of work, in your practice, that kind of were flat to you in reading the book so far that you feel like a lot of people struggle with or deal with?
I think the surrender piece, like letting go when things aren't working out, like being
Mm-hmm.
able to see that there's a bigger vision. I always say, like, don't look at things as failure, but look at them as redirection. Like, God's always redirecting us to that path we're supposed to be on. So, like, that stood out to me, the whole trust thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just seeing how resilient you were. Like, you have been through some very traumatic things in your life, and how you just kept going and going. And I'm like, I don't know how you've done it. Like, I know you've been to therapy, and I think you've really just sort of put your self development at the forefront of the business. And I think that that's so important. And so many women often forget that. They think,
Yeah.
oh, I just need to like work on the business more. But it's
Yeah.
really working on our mindset continually.
I love that. That's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I just felt like I was like, I feel like she's speaking to me. Like, these are
Oh, good.
so many of my own thoughts. And like the little, you talked about like the God taps.
Yeah. The little
Like when you,
breadcrumbs. Yeah. Yeah. That's something the other day I did this podcast with the singer Andy Grammer, and he sings that song. What was that song he sings? He sings so many good ones, but you got to keep your head up. Hey, you
yeah,
got to keep
yeah.
your head up. Whatever. So I did his podcast a while ago, and he was like, oh, I put it in the book. I forgot what I said. He called the little God tap something else for him. And he's like, have you had one of those recently? And I was like, oh, no, I haven't actually. So the next day I was kind of thinking like, wow, I really haven't had one of those little God breadcrumbs or God taps or whatever you want to call it. And then the next day I had one, and I was so happy to be reminded of that feeling. Yeah. And I really do think it is about following those little breadcrumbs and keeping our eyes open for where the path is leading us.
Totally. And I think we're all like, I think COVID has caused us to really just pause and to slow down
Mm-hmm.
and start looking outside of us. And I think for so many, it's scary,
Yeah.
but this is when we can start to actually pay attention to those little things,
Yeah.
because the answers are always out there. But I think we're all so busy that we overlook them. And like you gave that example
Yeah.
of your friend who sent that text message to you and was like, listen to the Judah Smith sermon. I feel like you need
Mm-hmm.
to hear this. And it
Yeah.
was like instant, oh my God, this is the little sign that I needed.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I know. I bought this when I was driving in Malibu. There was this when I was going to this therapy session, and right outside there was this one that said "You are a miracle" in French. I didn't know exactly what it said, but there was a picture of an eye, and it said "miracle," and the artwork was really cool. It was from this Japanese artist from the Bronx, and I was like, I need that. That needs to be the first thing that I'm buying Baby Love, because I wanted to get her something really special. But I didn't know what it meant, so I asked the store owner, and she said it said it meant "You are a miracle." And at that exact same time, my sister-in-law texted me, hey, listen to this sermon from Judah Smith. And it was, the whole thing was about "You are a miracle." Oh, wait,
So beautiful.
someone from Australia just wrote, I think God has gone into isolation. That's funny.
Oh,
But yeah, so that was a good little reminder.
can you share with us, and I'm not going to keep you, I know you're a busy lady. Um,
You
I
too,
guess
you got to
share
get
with,
your Manhattan on. You got to get your
I
Manhattan.
know. Oh,
I
I'm
wish your
excited.
husband could make one for me through the phone and just like give it
Oh,
to me through.
they're so good. We have this other, so my husband and I have a breakfast and lunch eatery with a couple other owners.
Ew.
And yeah, yeah. And luckily we've been able to do takeout and just like pick up. So we haven't had to shut down. So
Amazing.
we love good food. And one of his brothers makes this cocktail called the Shine Box.
Ooh.
And it's bourbon. It's no, it's sweet tea. No,
Ooh.
black tea infused bourbon
Ooh.
with like a twist of orange. It's
Hmm.
so delicious. Like it's so bad because you could just drink so many of them because it doesn't taste like alcohol at all. I
Yeah.
can only have one, and then after
Yeah.
that, I know I have to cut myself off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're so good.
Nice.
I love me some bourbon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
But I guess share with our listeners just a little bit about what it's been like running the business, writing the book, and having kids. Because I think, especially those who don't have kids yet, and I know this was one of the lies that I told myself. I wrote a whole chapter in my book about it, that I can't be a good mom and have a successful business.
Yeah.
So, what has that been like for you? And maybe like, do you have like a mom hack or something you can share with
Yeah.
us? Because I think even for the women who are listening who don't have kids, like you can learn a lot from moms because moms fit a lot of things in.
Yeah. I don't even know what I did with all the time I had before I had kids. I don't know what I complained about
Yeah.
because, oof. But I always thought when I wrote a book, oh, I would have time to sit like on a beach and feel inspired and just have time to write and reflect and or like be in a forest or like be at some cafe in France or something. I don't know. One of my friends, Allie, who we host a podcast together, she wrote a book, and I think she wrote half of her book like at a cafe in Paris or something. And I was like, that is what I always thought that I would need to write a book. But no, it was not glamorous at all because when you have kids, you have to make it happen. And half the time I was writing this book, I was on a bathroom floor pumping,
Yeah.
plugged into a charger on a bathroom floor somewhere, whether it's an airport, my own bathroom, at a local Starbucks, jamming it in when you're half asleep in the middle of the night. I mean, nothing was glamorous about writing it. So many people I know want to write a book and they think you don't have time. I don't have time either, but luckily
Yeah.
I had I had to turn things in, and you have to let go of certain things. Like it was Christmas, and I was in Nashville with my husband's family, and I really wish that I could have been there and present with everybody, but I wasn't. The whole time I was writing the book, I was doing edits, so everyone was watching movies and enjoying dinner or talking, and I was literally plugged in somewhere far away from everyone writing. So it really is about, you have to, when you're saying yes to something, you have to say no.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot do it all. And that is a lot of what the book is about too, is that we are not Superwoman, we are not Wonder Woman, we are not robots, we are humans, we are messy, you're going to fail, no one can be perfect. Give yourself grace to not have it all together. Some days I have to eat my child's stale goldfish crackers because I did not
I
have
know.
time. You have to just,
Or the pouches.
yeah, the pouches, oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I just eat their scraps. Like that's all that I
Yeah,
ever eat.
yeah, stale scraps, that's all I eat too. Yeah.
So thankful for those. So thankful you made those sacrifices to write the book, and I cannot wait to read it. Yay! Seriously, so thankful and excited. Yeah, so tell everyone, where can they get this amazing book? It launches on the 12th, but they can pre-order it now.
Yes, it's so funny. I actually just pre-ordered it myself the other day, a couple of days ago, from Barnes and Noble. Well, so if you go right now, the link in my bio, it's youarethekey.com. No, sorry, just kidding. Youarethekeybook.com. The link is there, and you can order it from Amazon or Barnes and Noble, blah, blah, blah. So I ordered it from Barnes and Noble, and it already came to my house, even though it's not supposed to be released till next Tuesday. But whatever, it's great.
Really?
I got it. But yeah, so you can get all the information, and I made a little masterclass, like a 5-part masterclass. So if you pre-order the book now,
Oh,
you can listen to the masterclass now as well. Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm going to do a post and I'll do a swipe up. I just got a new iPhone,
Ooh.
and I found out that with the iPhone, you can download lives now,
Ooh.
which I'm so excited about. You can only do it on iPhone 11. I had like the crappiest phone for years with a cracked screen. Like, I don't know how I ran a business from it, but you can't download lives like this unless you have an iPhone 11. So I'm going to download this, and then I'm going to send it out to my list with the link. So if you're on my email list,
Oh, fancy. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah, you guys, you have to get this. It is so good. It is so well written. You will be at the edge of your seat and you won't be able to put it down. I'm probably going to finish it tonight.
No way. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so
Yes.
much for having me. And I know some followers will watch this later. So obviously, everyone, check out Kate and all her geniusness that she does in her life. So thank you so much for having me. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you. You too. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.